Alright guys, welcome back as always. This is the next installment in my Armed Prepared Citizen Loadout series. If you have not watched the first intro video for this series, please go watch it first before you watch this video. It'll make everything make a whole lot more sense, and it'll save you a whole lot of aggravation, and me as well. So in this one, this is going to be my patrol loadout. Now, as I've said in the intro video, my gear is set up for my situation. Where I'm going to be at, who I'm going to be with, what we're going to be operating with, logistic-wise, etc. This is not a suggestion that you should copy what I'm doing. This is simply to show you what I'm doing and maybe give you some ideas. You have to formulate your own setup for your situation. That cannot be stressed enough, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of go over things. I got a couple of different setups here that I would use depending on what I'll be doing. My situation is a very, very, very rural location. I'll be with a number of family, friends, etc. So I will not be alone. I'll be working as part of a small team. This is our terrain. This is actually fairly open considered to most of our terrain, which is why I'm recording here. It's open enough I can actually set this up and show you. So, for summertime use, which like it is right now, hence why I'm sweating, I would most likely be starting out with what I've got on. Combat shirt, BDU pants, simple. I will wear a small, medium-sized, not really small, I guess medium-sized fixed blade knife on my belt. And depending on the weather, I may opt to throw on something over the combat shirt. It would just depend. Honestly, this would be more for, right now the bugs aren't too horribly bad. We're mainly dealing with sand gnats and that sort of thing. If the tiger mosquitoes and such come out, I'll probably be forced to throw this on over the combat shirt, because our tiger mosquitoes will bite right through the combat shirt like it's not even there. So I like this setup better than just a plain BDU top, which I would wear if situation warranted it. But that's probably going to be more for cooler weather for me. I like this setup because even though it doesn't seem like it, having this separate from the combat shirt allows some airflow around the armpits, and it makes a lot of difference in the ventilation, okay? It really does. So, I would probably, if I were going out right now, as of doing this video, this moment, today, I would probably stow this in my pack and have it with me just in case I needed it. Now, the next thing I would add on would be, of course, my chest rig. Now, I'm not going to get too in depth on how I've got everything set up, but I'll give you a little overview. I say that and I'll probably get real in depth, so just bear with me. So, this would be the loadout for my chest rig that I would take on a patrol with my people, my situation, my location, right? I want my 4 mags, a bleeder pouch, a GP pouch, and a radio. That's it. The whole goal from me is to be lightweight, as light as possible, and mobile. I've got to be able to move and maneuver. I'm not doing direct action missions. I am simply going to be conducting security patrols around the perimeter of our property, maybe just off of it, depending on the situation. We can get into the whole details of why you do that in another video, but suffice to say, it's so that we know ahead of time if somebody's encroaching in on us, watching us, whatever. I'm not looking to get into a fight. I am operating a lot more like an old school LERP would. I'm just out looking for information and gathering intelligence, trying not to be seen and trying to see the other guy before he sees me if there's somebody around, okay? So we're keeping it simple. Other thing I'd have would be my radio, and then I've got a couple of different radio sets I like to use. This is just a simple dog bone mic. I've also got a push-to-talk headset that I can wear. Again, that'll be situationally dictating it. I like this one because in this kind of heat, it keeps everything off my head, so I'm not getting anything holding heat and sweat in there any more than I can. With the volume turned down, I can hear this in my ear, but you can't hear it if you're 5 feet away from me. And it makes it real easy just to lean over and push the button and talk. So I can stay in communication with everybody I need to be in communication with. The next thing I would do, of course, I'm always going to have gloves on because that's just going to help protect your hands from everything you want your hands protected from. If you don't think there's a good reason to have your hands protected, it tells me you ain't gotten out and done much. Now, the next thing I would do is I'm going to run a pack. Even if it's just a short day patrol out here. There are things I'm going to want to have with me, and we carry a weight in a backpack on our shoulders. Personally, I see too many guys trying to put everything in a chest rig. A chest rig for me is to support my weapon and fight with. That's it. Everything else I'm carrying goes in my pack. So you should always have a pack with you, in my opinion. But as always, you do you and set up things for your situation. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if what you're doing works for you, right? Nobody else can tell you that you're wrong either. So always remember that. Now, for my packs, the two packs that I use are going to be either this DG1 from Crossfire. It's just a nice little simple lightweight patrol pack. It gives me, I've got it set up to have 3 extra reloads in the beaver tail right there, but it still allows me to store other things. I can use one of these side pouches as a radio pouch if I want to, and put my radio in there instead of on my chest rig. And then I would just put the mic up on the shoulder strap. This also gives me the capability to have a water bladder. So now I've got my water bladder. I've got everything else I need to haul. I personally like to always keep a sniper veil with me. A, because I can wet it and help cool off. It makes it easy to wipe with. And then of course, if I'm out in the bush, it's almost a guarantee I'm going to be wearing my boonie. I want to keep the sun and such off my face and neck and whatnot. Helps keep you cool. Also helps break up the outline of the head a little bit. Just me. You can wear whatever you want to. There may be times that I'd wear a simple ball cap. It would just depend on the situation. This I would tuck in a little better, but I'm just throwing it on to show you. Because the other thing that I might run, depending, would be my direct action ghost pack. This one's a little bit larger than the DG1, and as you can see, I've got radio pouch set up on there to run my radio, so I could just run my mic cords right over to the shoulder strap of the pack and not on the chest rig. That would get this out of the way. So I could run that either way. That would just be dependent. Again, like the other one, it gives me a water bladder, so I've got water should I need it. Which I shouldn't say should I need it, because up here, you're going to need it. You're going to need it, right? Okay, so for this load, I hit my primary patrol rifle And of course I would get my straps all connected. You don't want anything flopping and bouncing around. We would go that route. My light, when I go out here, comes off the gun, and I would stow it in the pouch, which is easier to do with two hands than it is with one. That way I've still got my light with me. I can put it back on the gun if I need it, but now I don't have to worry about any accidental discharges of light while I'm in the woods if I find myself out at night. During the day I don't need it, and it's also one less thing to snag on in all of this, because things will get snagged on, right? So this is how I would run a patrol loadout for probably 85–90% of what I would be doing up here at our location that we would be at, right? It's simple, it's lightweight, I'm still mobile, I'm not weighed down, but I got everything with me that I would need, and it allows me to get out of trouble hopefully faster than I got into trouble. Now, just as an example, I'll show you. I have got you AK guys, I can run the exact same load with my AK. So everything's the same. All my actions and everything, gear placement and all that is identical from my AR and my AK. You'll also notice that my two primary guns are set up very similar. They both have got primary arms 2X optics on them, because for out here I can use the 2X up close, but if I do come to an area where I want to see a little bit further, it gives me that capability. It makes that 100 yards a 50-yard shot at that point. So the other thing that I think I failed to mention, and this is important, so for me out here, I'm going to be running hot weather boots, okay? Boots that are vented and open and breathe a lot and drain a lot. Because no matter what you do, the vast majority of the year up here, you're going to get wet in your feet. Having waterproof boots on does me no good, because if I've got to go through water, it's typically going to be over the top of the boot and it's going to go down and fill the boot up. If it's waterproof, then I'm walking around with buckets of water on my feet all day. I want boots that'll drain and vent and let it flush out. I want the airflow for the hot weather that we're in. To catch that might be wintertime, then I might wear some waterproof boots, just all depending. But these, for those of you who are wondering, are the new Ultima jungle boots that I'm trying out. So far so good on those. Look for another video there. What else? I'm trying to think of what else I've missed that I wanted to cover for you guys. Oh, because I've already had this problem one time, let's just go ahead and nip this in the bud. If you've got a problem with my tan boots and the woodland camo, don't even bother commenting. I'm not bound by Army dress regulations, and I haven't been since, way back in the 90s. Okay? I don't care if it's against whatever dress code regulation the military's got to follow. I'm not military. I'm doing me. You do you. Don't worry about it. Okay? Good. Got that covered. Good deal. All right. So I hope that gives you guys kind of a rough idea of how I've got my gear set up and why I've got it set up this way, and to illustrate that it's specific for me. Okay? I can't stress that enough. Make sure you're setting your gear and equipment up for your situation, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be doing it, where you're going to be doing it, who you're going to be doing it with, etc. For example, you'll notice I'm not wearing a handgun, okay? Because my teammates that'll be with me, they are my transition, for a lack of a better word, right? For the weight and bulk and everything of the handgun, that lets me carry a couple of extra mags from a rifle in the pack. And if my rifle goes down, I want to get it back up and running. That's what my teammates' job is, to provide cover while I do that. Which goes back to why you want to make sure you've got a reliable, functional rifle that you know is going to work. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, what if you have a catastrophic failure? Guys, we can what if it to the moon and back, right? Catastrophic failures in a gun that you know is functional and reliable and have got rounds through it are very, very, very rare percentage-wise. The odds of that happening to you are very slim, okay? If you think about it, very few people in the military ever get to carry and issue a handgun. Very few, okay? I know it's cool and all, and we can stand on the range and do our great transitions and whatnot. That's great. Out here in the real bush, it's a different story. So enough on that. Again, you do you. Are you starting to get that theme there? Hopefully, maybe. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's all I wanted to show you on this one. Again, this would be my patrol loadout as an armed citizen. If you got any questions, put them down below. I'll try to answer them as best I can. Other than that, you guys take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in another one.